you explain how you go in this Stu or the number 12 team in the country, and you get passed by Texas in 2 of the human poles and closed in on the other human pole?
Well, again, how that happens, there are plenty of reasons probably, but in the end, it doesn't matter what I think. In the end, it's there's a lot that's said over the last week from a lot of people and a lot of bodies, but in the end, fortunately, the way everyone else saw it, the way we've played overall, that we earned it.
Bobby, what was your views of computers in the BCS formula up all along this time? Because they're very controversial. A lot of people don't like them, but they kind of save you.
But they don't have agendas. They don't have loyalties. They don't have opinions. They don't have all the bias that everyone else does. And if you say no one else does, then I don't think you're really being truthful. So like it or not, they don't have all of those things everyone else does, and they might take into account strength of schedule more than others do, for those reasons. And again, media makes a huge deal about it the first month of the season, and then it's all thrown out the window the last couple weeks of the season.
Is that what you've tried to schedule tough teams while you've been
Obviously,
here?
And it's not just for that, but it's also in tight situations. You feel if you're able to win those games, sure, it does help you, but it's also for our fans. It's also to challenge our program, and I think also it's good for college football. We feel if we're going to be one of those teams, and we got to be able to play tough teams out of conference and be able to to win. But like I said, I knew coming into the year how good TCU and Cincinnati, how good of teams those guys were, and there's a whole bunch of other teams I'd rather play than them.
Bob, you still in favor of a playoff, having gone through this?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think this has been. I don't think anyone's been comfortable with this. All parties for the last 3 weeks, it's been aggravating more than anything. And again, it's just all the influences out there, and whether it's papers or whether it's TV or whether it's whoever else, all the different influencing, lobbying, talking, trying to change votes, and it's out there.
I wonder what you thought of. We didn't see it because we were in the press box, but I guess Mac Brown got a lot of airtime during your game to state his case. Was that fair in the end?
Well, in the end, hey, that's if that's what they need to do, they need to do it. I don't,
Were you given any chances? Were you given any chances?
Yeah, I was asked to be on the Texas game on Thursday, Friday. Thursday. I was asked to be on, and I said no, I didn't want to do it, and I said I didn't think it was right.
Well, Texas beats Texas A&M. I know it's a rivalry game, but A&M's had a down year, and Texas ends up with a first-place vote in the Harris Bowl. Did you have any issue with that? Does there need to be some checks and balances in that poll?
I think it's been obvious for a lot of years that there ought to be checks and balances in the poll.
But the AP, for instance, they have a history of removing voters. Harris Bowl doesn't seem to have anything like that.
No. Again, I think there's definitely issues with it. I think everyone understands that. For me, I'm not going to sit here and outline what I think they ought to be. I just don't think that's right.
Bob, how did you find out just now?
We were down in the locker room with the players watching it.
Was it official?
And not all of them, just whoever wanted to come over. We're going to have it on in the locker room, and so a lot of them were finishing up treatments, those kind of things that were around anyway. So they're just probably 25% of them that were around. They're excited.
A shout?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were fired up and excited about it, and again, they'll look at it as another challenge.
How optimistic were you when you woke up this morning, Bob? Did you feel optimistic, pessimistic, one way or the other?
I was optimistic yesterday, last night, and just in general because I knew, that road win against the number 11 team in the country would make a huge difference, and or should anyway. And then you look at the way Cincinnati, TCU finished. You look at, heck, even Nebraska and KU winning probably made a difference to some degree. Those reasons overall, I thought, in winning by 20 there, that it would be enough.
Bob, what does this do for the Texas-Oklahoma rivalry? I mean, this is going to go down as a flashpoint in the history of the whole thing.
Well, it can't be much more than it is, can it?
I don't know.
Coach, you talked about the biasness and the opinion that goes into the human polls. They're basically secret ballots now until the end of the year. Would you favor like a full disclosure of these polls week to week to maybe eliminate some of the screwiness that goes with it?
I'd say yes, but then again, I don't know who, coaches, we've got enough that we're scrutinized through the year that we want to deal with that. So I don't think that's the case. And I also don't know that sometimes if they aren't made available, that maybe, there's reason for both, where you still might get a more honest opinion. I brought the scenario up of, I don't know, a TCU voting, they might have a large contingent of Texas alums or people that are also affiliated with both schools. Why'd you rank us here instead of here? Sometimes if you don't have to disclose that, you can really rank someone where you want. So there's an argument both ways.
Bob, over the past few years, you've talked about strength of schedule being taken out of the equation more and more by the BCS. Do you feel like maybe this is a message that maybe it does still matter, strength of schedule?
Well, I think obviously it does, and I have been sour that it hasn't as strong an influence as it used to. I guess in situations where all things being equal, what do you go to? But in the end, I don't know. Again, I can't equate what all transpired and how much of an influence it had, but it had an influence. So I think for people to continue to want to play out of conference games that people want to watch and go to and be excited about, there has to be an incentive to do it. Otherwise, heck, just schedule 4 wins and move on down the road. You can almost schedule a bowl game by that.
Bob, you mentioned this, sort of referred to the psychology of that router tech, and it seemed like you beat them so bad, it knocked them out of the equation, which most people sort of viewed it as a 2-way tie instead of a 3-way tie.
It's not. It's a 3-way tie.
Do you think that's what happened, though?
That's exactly what happened. And again, so you are making a huge statement if you're saying that Texas Tech in the next to the last week of the year, who is one of just a few teams that's undefeated, and just beat Texas, right? Now they got the same record as the rest of us in the league. Now, if all of a sudden they're removed from the conversation because of what we did, then that says something, because they did beat Texas just a couple weeks before, and that was just a little over a week ago that we did that to them by 44 points.
They got penalized for losing by 44, but you're not sure that you got rewarded for beating them.
I think that's fair to say. They were the talk of the. Listen, and I agreed. I thought they came in as hot as anybody and playing as well, and you don't get that ranking and undefeated for not doing anything, and they had done it, but we played pretty well. When you beat them that soundly, I think it says something. And again, we're not talking 6 weeks ago. It's just the next to the last week of the year.
What did you think of the airplane flying around the stadium? Sign.
I didn't notice it. Did you?
Really? Yeah, I noticed it.
We should have had one flying the Tech sign, the Tech score and the Texas score around down at their stadium.
You think about doing it?
I thought about it, but I didn't think it'd be real classy of me to do. So to put the score of their game with the Tech game and put the score of ours on it.
Bob, how satisfying is it that you didn't contribute to the circus? That
I'd hoped it wouldn't come back to haunt us. That I just feel there's some place that that's appropriate. And then there isn't, and I hope I hung around the appropriate area and didn't overdo anything. When I'm asked a question, I stated it, but just trying to do it the right way. I don't know, and have some principle in what we're doing.
Did you?
And I'm not saying anyone else didn't. That's how I tried to do it.
Now that you see how it transpired, do you think was that a good call and you'd do it again the way you did?
I think I would. Again, I just think there's something that you have to, as a program, you've got to have your standards. And again, I am not comparing ours. I'm just saying that I felt comfortable with the way we did it and what we had to say and when we had to say it, and didn't overdo it.
We talked a little bit about this on Tuesday. Now that you've gone through it, was today a little strange? This morning, I guess.
Very strange.
I assume you
I had to remind myself that we won last night against a rival team, ranked 11 in the country at their place, and you win by 20, and you wake up and you had a knot in your stomach, and I said, oh yeah, we did win last night, and sun is out today, and let's go see what's happening.
Did you go, did you already start the preparation for Missouri?
I went in, watched the game in the morning, went to church, turned my phone off, and came back, had a sandwich. My family came over, and all the circus started, trying to pay attention to where things were going.
So is it safe to say you're behind
No.
where you usually are?
No, our coaches, offense and defense, were already looking at Missouri in the early afternoon like we usually do.
What kind of thoughts did you have last night at the end of the game on that last drive this morning again?
Oh, just excited to see Chris, who is no bigger fan than me for Chris Brown, and just the hole that was there. Just nice to see us complete the game that way, and the guys keep playing to the end. And anyway, it's always good when you're away from home like that and you play so well.
How much of an effect do you think that last score difference of 13 points?
Who knows? I don't know how to equate that.
Coach, Austin Box was starting to play well, got hurt last night. You said maybe a knee sprain. Do you know any more about it?
Yeah, he'll be out. Very similar sprain that Austin English had, so he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks.
What will you do there? Go to Ballard?
Yes.
Will we see both of those guys in possibly after the Big 12 championship, if there's a game?
Austin English is possible for this game. I said English, right? Yeah, and Austin Box will not. And then for a bowl game, it's too far out to know.
Is there any concern in your mind that since the last poll comes out next week, that the college will go on despite you playing in the championship game?
Oh, I'm sure some of it will. All the opinions will be out there, and I'm sure some of it will be.
One thing, you guys last year criticized for performance on the road. This year you played very well on the road, but you haven't been an elite team on the road. Last night you took care of that. Was that an even more increased performance last night, what you did in Stillwater compared to what you've done in Manhattan, College Station?
Probably. Although, again, just the way Oklahoma State has played all year and having a couple weeks to get ready for us, all of that, to win like we did, sure, it says a lot.
Bob, are you convinced if you win next week, you're in? I'm just wondering if there's
I'm not convinced of anything anymore. Yeah. You just do your best to win and play as well as you can, and hopefully things keep working out.
I mean, it was so heavy for the pollsters today for Texas. I'm wondering if they might try to influence this process further.
Well, they may.
Have you been given any assurances from people you trust?
I don't think
I don't know.
Who's going to give assurances? Heck, we've got a big game with, again, another ranked team, Missouri, and I'm sure going up there they'll have the biggest part of the crowd, and so we got a huge challenge this week. Another one.
What kind of a national reaction would it be if you beat Missouri and you didn't get in the national championship game and Texas did?
Well,
that would be a circus that would.
They still have their plane left.
Huh?
They still have their plane.
I mean,
left.
seriously.
Plane in Kansas City.
I mean, theoretically, he's right. It could happen.
Yeah, who knows? A lot can happen. So we're gonna concentrate on trying to win this game and play the best we can.
How much pride do you take in knowing you're going to your seventh Big 12 championship game?
There's a lot of pride in that, and not me individually, but I think just as a program to be in our seventh one here in 10 years is exciting. It shows a lot of consistency, and so hopefully again it'll matter more if we can win it. Okay.
Thank you, Bob.